everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went sci-fi when we built the Sentry Gun from Eon Flux, and it was cool. If you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out Sentry Gun or any of the other super cool builds we have there. But for this build, we're going to actually stay sci-fi. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Yeah, check it out. It is the Squareness Gun from Doctor Who. Check it out. Look at that cool shape, man. That curved shape that you know. Back half is wood, front half is steel. A lot of cool shaping in here, a lot of shaping in the handle, and a lot of layering up this whole front end. And a lot more of that technique we do where we layer up a bunch of foam and then we cut it out to reveal the shape. But not hard, totally easy. This thing is jamming. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Squareness Gun Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make it. And as usual, we have a template for this too, so if you want to follow along and build your very own Squareness Gun, we'll include the link to our storefront in the description below also, so you can go over there and pick up a template if you want. If not, that's cool too. Chilling out is cool. So, that's it. Enough of me yapping. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, we're going to start building our Squareness Gun by building the barrel. Alright, so we've got a bunch of different thicknesses of foam. We've got 2mm, 4, 6, 24 millimeter, an inch thick, and we've got a 1 3/8 foam dowel. It's roughly 32, 34, somewhere in there, millimeters. And these are the pieces that are going to make up our barrel. Alright, so we're going to begin by taking our dowel, and we've got our mark right where that arrow is and where that arrow is. Then we're going to cut that off on the bandsaw, so we've got a nice 90-degree cut on both ends. Alright, there we go. There's our dowel with nice 90-degree cuts on the end. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we are going to cut this 2mm piece out, and we're going to wrap our barrel. Alright, there we go. Now that's going to come in and wrap around here, giving us these cool little vent shapes. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of foam and we're going to wrap it as a test wrap just to make sure that we have the proper length for our piece. Just like that. Okay, we've got another hair to take off. That's why you got to do a couple tests. Get your length right before you glue and stick. Alright. Bingo. Got the dowel and the wrap cemented. Give it a couple minutes. Alright, here we go. Now we're going to come in and we are going to lay this right down in the middle, flush with the edge of our wrap, and back here. Get a tiny little bit right on the edge since it's going to make contact. We're getting our seam down perfectly. All right, there we go. Perfect seam. All right. Come on. You barely can see the seam. That's really nice. Okay, now we've got our markings where our two wraps are going to go. Those are both on 4mm foam, all right? And as you can tell, we have the outer mark, and then we have this little inner mark here and here, because that's going to be a bevel cut. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to come in, we're going to tip our knife blade like this because we want a bevel cut, and we're going to go straight through on an angle. Now we're going to come over to this side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to tip our knife and do a bevel right there. Let's make a measurement. Just here and right here. All right, there we go. Now we've got our mark. Slight bevel. Slight bevel. There we go. Let's do a test. All right, it's going to line up perfectly. Very cool. All right. We've got our dowel and our wraps cemented. Give them a few minutes to dry. Right there down the middle. All right, we're on our seam and we're flush on the back. Now we're going to line up right around the back. And we're going to just slightly pull on it. We just want to extend the length just a little bit. And we're going to line up around this Sharpie mark at the front. Look at that. Now it's got that nice little detail with the vent hole and then the slight beveled edges there in 3 spots. Really nice. All right, now we're going to come in with these 2 pieces, a 6mm and a 24, and we're going to make the end piece to our barrel. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get our X-Acto out. All right, there we go. We've got a small inner mark where we don't want to contact cement. All right, now we're going to set that right over where our Sharpie line was, just like that. That's going to make up the end of our barrel. Now we're going to go over to the scroll saw and we're going to knock that circle out real quick. All right, look at that. Pretty cool. Now that's going to go on there, but what we're going to do first, before we do that, is we're going to come in and we're going to bevel the edges of this with our Dremel. All right? All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to make our mark around this edge. 1/4 and 1/4. All right. Now we'll go. All right, there we go. We drew our inner mark on both sides and the mark around the edge. All right, and now we're going to come in with our dust mask and we're going to Dremel from this line to this line and from this line to this line. Look at that. That is a sweet bevel right there. All right, let's get this side now. All right, there we go. We've got bevel on both sides. Look at that, man. That is cool. All right, we're going to come in with our 220 sanding stick, and we're going to just slightly clean up that beveled edge, just to smooth it out a little bit. All right, let's come in with our 320 now, just for extra little smoothness there. Oh, wow, that is nice. All right, now let's bring in our heat gun and let's seal this thing so the foam is nice and tight. Wow, look at that. It's like a Formula One tire. That is sweet though. Look at that. Wow. That is really cool. Nice effect. And then we're going to line it up. I don't just drop it down. We got one side down. Let's get it right in the middle of our Sharpie mark. Right there. Spot on. Check this out. We cut these 45s so when we wrapped it, it had that angle, and then we dremeled these. Man, that is nice. Two different details, or two different techniques to achieve the same thing. You can dremel a bevel, or you can cut a bevel. Alright, now we're going to come in with our next piece of the front end of our gun. We've got two 3mm pieces, and we've got a 6. Alright, now we're going to be cutting all these out and sticking them together to create a cool layered effect. So, with a box. Cut. Beautiful, look at that. That is nice. All right, let's do the same thing on this piece. All right, now we're gonna try to keep some of this clean from contact cement. All right, we're gonna do one side at a time. Now we gotta be careful with these little stringy pieces because they're kind of wobbly. I'm going to lay them down. There we go. See that? Perfect. Take your time. We're going to bring this piece of our template in. Alright, just like that. Alright, now, we made a slight mistake earlier, and that was with this piece, okay? We were not supposed to attach this end to this, because this has to be free floating. And the reason is this, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here, and we're going to go right down the seam, and we're going to cut this barrel in half. And we're going to stick half on this side of the piece, and half on that side of the piece. And then we're going to attach this to the front, okay? So we're going to back up a little bit. We're going to knock this off on the bandsaw to free this, and then we're going to cut this in half right down the middle. Alright, just like that. Now when you build yours, don't stick this to this yet, okay? Wait. Okay, so now, here we go. We're back in order. Off to the races. All right, we're gonna go right down that seam and we're gonna cut this thing right in half, all right? So here we go, over to the bandsaw. All right, there we go. Bam, just like that. And then this is gonna come in, we're gonna stick it right on here like this. Look at how cool that is. Wow. We're gonna cut this piece out first. All right, so we're gonna go over to the scroll saw. All right, check that out. Now we're in business. All right, now we can come in and we can line up this edge and this edge so they're flush, just like that. Wow, look at that. Okay, now what we did is we took these two halves and we sent them each through the bandsaw and took a little tiny bit of the inside out of each. All right, so we eliminated a little center strip right in here, okay, just like that. Now when we come in and we stick this down, we'll be much closer to the perfect circle that we want. All right? And then this will come in right onto the front, really nice like that. All right? We're going to line it up flush at that corner and at that edge right there. All right, so we're flush. And now we're going to come down flush there and there. All right. The reason we did one at a time is now we're going to go back in with the scroll saw and we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to stick this down and flip it over and use the scroll saw to cut that side out. All right? All right, so let's go cut this out on the scroll saw. All right, there we go. Check it out. Look at that. All right, we cut it out. Now we can come in and stick this piece down. And then after we stick it down, we can flip it over and cut that piece out. All right? Let's line up our corner. Let's line up our bottom corner and our front end flush, just like that. We're going to line that up flush. And then we're going to line up that right there. Perfect. Oh man, this is cool. Crazy. Now see what we're going to do here? We're going to come in and we're going to knock that off on the scroll saw and we'll be ready to go. Wow, look at that. Look at all those steps that led up to this. That was crazy. Now this is going to be coming in and sticking right on there and it's going to look totally awesome. All right, we've got our two bases and we've got a little bit in here and a little bit on here. All right, wow, really jamming. Give it a couple minutes. All right, we make contact right up here. Now we're going to spin this around and we are going to get it right in the center like that. And then we're going to get this down to there, this down to here. All right, that is not bad. Not bad at all. It's not the greatest in the world. We're not absolutely perfect in here, but no one's going to be able to tell. All right, dig that. Look at all the steps we took. We had to layer this piece up. Then we had to build this whole barrel. Then we had to cut the barrel in half. Then not only did we cut it in half, we had to trim extra out of the middle and throw it away and stick one side down first, scroll saw, flip it over, stick the other side down, scroll saw, and then attach this. But that's it, man. That's the look right there. Sweet. All right, now we've got one last detail. We're going to drill through here, and we're going to use the hole to feed our scroll saw blade through, and we're going to cut this shape out. All right, there we go. We've got our Forstner bit in here. We're going to go right through here. All right, there we go. We cut it out on the scroll saw. Now we're going to come in with our Dremel and we're going to clean up in there a little bit. All right, there we go. That is some fancy business right there. Wow, that's swell. Check that out. Man, I'm really liking that. Okay, so we took our template and we transferred our marks over so we know where these pieces are going to go. These are little 2mm jobs here. Really easy stuff. We're just going to come in with our X-Acto blade. That's it. Now we're just going to cut the rest of them out. All right, now this is really easy. We're going to be coming in and super gluing these down one at a time. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to take our time and do the other 6. Okay, now we're going to start tackling the handle. And that's going to be made up of a 2-inch thick base, and we're going to be attaching stuff to it. So we're going to take 2 1-inch pieces, those are 24 millimeters, and we're going to cut them out and stick them together. There we go, that just tightens up the foam a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I like to. All right, give it a couple minutes. There. Now we're going to come in with these 3 millimeter pieces. And we're going to be doing some cool little details on there. And we're going to cut these windows out, and we're going to attach that to this piece of foam right here like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so this is really easy stuff. Beautiful. That's it. Now we're going to do these 2. That's it. Nice, look at that, perfect. Now we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to cut another 3 millimeter piece and stick it to that side. All right, there we go. We've got both sides done. We've got our pattern for our handle transferred over to our foam. Now we're going to have to do 2 different cuts. We're going to cut this side pattern out. Then we're going to be rolling it and transferring another pattern for this side. So let's go ahead. And we're going to move over to the scroll saw, and we're going to knock this out on the scroll saw. Ooh, you know it. Check that out. All right, but we'll get to that later. All right, that was it. So far, so good. We got the whole front section built of the barrel. We've got a big portion of the back shaped out. A lot of cutting on the scroll saw and the bandsaw. And it's got our rough shape there. We got a lot of work to do still. But you saw we kind of teased a little bit by moving the 2 pieces together. But that was it. So far so good. Same techniques we always use on everything. You can totally do this. Just take your time, be careful when you stick down, and you're good. Alright, that's it. That concludes making an EVA foam Squareness Gun Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.